How are we doing, guys? Another cab video, voiceover of the soybean harvest 2017. Just like to give you guys a heads up as to what's coming in the next couple days. I actually got enough footage from the soybean harvest that I was just editing some videos and put some videos together. I have enough videos put together for 6 or 7 days of the amount of footage that I was able to get from this year's soybean harvest. I was able to get way more video of the soybean harvest than I did with the corn harvest. I kind of wish I got more corn harvesting videos. We had that rainstorm in between that delayed everything, and then the one day I was gone for a good bit of the day, and he was able to get pretty much done till I got back. So it just so happened I was there the whole time they were there to do the soybeans. So I got a lot of footage. This video, this voiceover, it's only going to be the only cab footage I have. This is going to be about a 10-minute video, I think I saw. So I can talk for 10 minutes. That's no problem there. So we'll get into this video here. So you're looking at through the cab of this John Deere 9770 STS combine, 20-foot flex head, and we're in beans here. This field, I think altogether, I'm trying to think what field this is. We're at I want to say about an 18-acre soybean field that we're in at this point. The beans here, like I say, I was doing some figuring, and on average, it did about 45 to the acre this year. And I'm not upset over that. That's pretty good considering where the soil test results were at. So we're going along here. These beans in this field, they were a little bit taller. The first field that we had started in, it'll probably be tomorrow's video. It's a very rocky field, and really had to watch with getting rocks in the flex head here. Constantly keeping an eye out for some of the shaly rocks that might stick up and go through the machine. Luckily, we made it all the way through harvest without putting any rocks through. So that was pretty good. The topsoil was pretty thin in that first field that we had started in. And I'm not going to make a whole bunch of excuses. We have to do better for next year and keep working towards 60, 65 bushel soybeans. These were planted on 15-inch rows with a John Deere vacuum type planter. I was real happy with the stand. The stand was excellent. Emergence was good. The stand was good. Even in those rocks where some areas from all the years of tillage, the topsoil eroded away and you just had basically rocks, the planter was still able to get the seeds in the ground. Like I said, with that planter that they had, you could put 400 pounds of air pressure on the disc to get the seeds in the ground. If you have harder ground, 400 pounds pushing on a disc that doesn't have very much surface area, you usually don't have a problem getting the seeds in the ground. It's more or less getting them covered, especially in rocks, and trying to get them to grow through the rocks. But like I said, very happy with the stand. I have planted beans already on 7-inch rows, conventional tillage, and even if I decide I'd ever go back to tillage, and I don't think so at this point, but even if I would, I still wouldn't till for beans. Doing beans conventionally, I don't like how much time and effort is involved as far as and cost, because you figure you go out and you have to either plow or chisel and disc it up and then harrow it up, because it's usually corn ground. You're gonna have a lot of corn residue to chop up, and then once all that's done, you almost have to pick some of the worst rocks. There's always rocks to pick with tillage. Here you could pick probably for weeks and still not get them all. And then the best way to do beans conventional tillage is to run a packer over the ground, either cul-de-pack before or run a cul-de-packer behind the grain drill to get them packed down a little bit nicer. Yeah, now this clip here, I was just playing around with the slow-mo feature on my phone. I just wanted to do a unloading video here in slow motion. Probably would have been a lot cooler if I was standing up on the ladder and was able to get a real close-up shot. But like I say, I wanted to do my best to get as much camera footage as I could without being in the way. I didn't want to be in the way or slow them down, so I kind of just made myself invisible here so that they could keep rolling, because they had another farm to go to after this. My dad was able to get some footage and sent me some footage, so I'll mix that in too. So we're here in this field here. Now this one, it's on a pretty hard slope going out through. Like I said, side hill machine was real nice. I mean, you never even minded it. It just, the cab was pretty well level the whole time. This wasn't as steep as some of the cornfields. Now this field gets wet at the bottom. It has like a spring at the very bottom. And we're turning around here, and I don't know if you can see the spring. It's like right down at the woods, down in there where you can see the green area. It's kind of a real wet area. The beans didn't do so well there. Like I say, we're rotating this to corn next year. This will be no-till corn. So this was a pretty nice yielding field. I was surprised at this field because the beans were so short. But I was really surprised at what we were able to get off of this field. We're just rolling along here. Like I say, it was about 50 degrees. The wind was just whipping around like crazy. It's been windy here for a couple weeks now. Or not a couple weeks, probably the past week. It's been real windy. We had a change in the weather pattern. So yeah, we're working in this field. Like I was saying about the tillage, I just wouldn't want to have to go back to picking rocks and burning up all that fuel. Just trying to think for myself, all the costs involved with doing things, conventional tillage. You figure, I don't have a chisel plow anymore. I sold it. I don't have a disc. I do have that International 45 Vibra-Shank, so I'd have to probably pick up a chisel or a rollover plow and a disc. I probably need some type of cully packer. I don't have a grain drill anymore. I had sold that. So until I get all that stuff and stored in the building, then in the spring, the fuel, how much fuel is the tractor going to burn to chisel everything up? Chisel teeth, of course, you're going to wear them out. You got to have some of them on hand. Disc blades, depending on what disc you get, you can probably make it a couple years without replacing. Well, in these rocks, I don't know. You probably end up replacing a couple. Then as far as the harrow teeth, they can last a little while. The cully packing, then, like I say, you either need to buy a cully packer and go out beforehand or pull one behind the grain drill. Then you have to go out and go out with the grain drill and plant. And I'm just trying to do the math here of how much it would cost me. Now, some guys are set up to do it. I'm not. So some guys have the ground for conventional tillage on these slopes. I'm just tired of seeing all the topsoil getting washed away. So we're trying this to try to keep everything in place. Just the savings. For him to come in with that machine, that planter of his, something that I wouldn't be able to afford with the technology as far as the shut-off, so you don't overlap with the seeds. Their corn planter is also their bean planter. It has the inner planters on it. So they can come in with that thing. You have the auto steer guidance GPS, so your rows are going to be uniform and perfect every time. It's just, I'm just saying for my operation, you can kind of see where I'm coming from. With the low grain prices right now, I'm trying to keep overhead costs low and expenses low. So, like I say, everybody's different. This is how I'm finding it works for me. We're coming to the end of this video now. So like I say, stay tuned. I have about 6 days worth of footage. I have enough photo. I took probably 75 pictures. I'll put some of them on Instagram and maybe do a slideshow. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and subscribe for more.
Something we haven't seen too many of around here in the last few years. hawks and the coyotes and stuff, the rabbits are pretty much
Still some around.